All right, hey Nikki, I got a lot of this new art in. Everything looks amazing. I'm glad we got everything all kind of ironed out. I just absolutely love this. This is perfect. Everything is looking good. Now, the thing that I wanted to go over with you with the level icons is I'm implementing this difficulty system, as you can see where my mouse cursor is. And I know this kind of takes up a lot of real estate within our hub world, but I think it's important to make sure that the difficulty levels isn't buried behind a bunch of menus. Like I could easily, if I wanted to, kind of put it here in the option menu and stuff, but I didn't really want to bury it. I wanted to make sure people could easily toggle, just because I had a couple of beta testers play the game and the game was a little bit difficult for them. So I want to make sure that players can be challenged with the game, but also easily right in front of their face be able to change the difficulty on the fly. Now, the thing is, you'll be able to earn a visual stimulant in the hub world by these level badges, and this is the reason why I wanted to kind of talk to you about this while we're doing the level buttons. On top of the blacked out animation and then the unlocked animation, there's also going to be a finished animation, which will be one of three things. And this will dictate what these kind of these look like too. The easy, normal, and hard or hardcore buttons look like. When you finish a level, as you can see here, level 1, disregard the star for right now. That's going to be a much smaller star that's going to go in the upper right hand corner. And I think the level buttons that you're giving me are slightly bigger than the ones that I currently have, which is fine because we do have some room here to make these buttons a little bit bigger. I really like the example that you gave me. It should be perfect. But you can see how this is labeled in red, this button, if the star wasn't in its way. And that's because I defeated the level in hardcore mode. So when the buttons unlock, when the levels unlock, they're going to see the number. And then when they finish it, it's going to switch its animation to basically a badge, and it's going to be whatever difficulty level they finished it on, easy, normal, and hard. And this will give another thing for completionists to kind of strive for. And I was kind of thinking we'll do this like Halo. If you ever played Halo before, when you defeat a level in Halo, right next to it there's like a little icon of like an alien face, and then when you defeat it on normal mode, it's like the same alien, but he's got like swords as like cross behind his back. And then when you defeat it on hard mode, he's got like swords and like horns on him or something like that. Basically, the version of the alien gets more and more badass looking. I kind of want to do that here, but maybe with the humanoid's face. Picture our power up, how the original power up was kind of like him smiling, his little face is smiling. Maybe like the easy difficulty is like almost an exact replica of that. It's just like the humanoid, very plain Jane, smiling at the character. Maybe normal is that same humanoid face, but just more badass looking some way. It can be a different color. It can be, his visor can be a little bit more badass. His, maybe he can, maybe look like one of the power-up humanoids. Maybe his visor can change a little bit. And then maybe hardcore can be something like really badass. Maybe even put like some horns on him or do something like really cool to sell the fact like, hey, you beat this on hardcore mode. Here is your little badge, So this way, it'll give people, could give completionists something to strive for, but it'll also ease up the difficulty on for newer players. And like I said, I didn't want to bury it behind. I don't want to bury it behind menus. I want these buttons right here out in the open, so people, if they're having trouble right in like the second level, can easily slap this on. And the biggest thing that's different with this version, with easy mode, is, and this is going to be art that we're going to need, is I take away the springs. I take away the spikes. Spikes will be now springs, and you can see you no longer get damage from them. That's like the number one thing that I took away from just like a round of beta testing from like my friends, is they kept hitting the spikes, and they had just a little bit of a hard time getting used to, staying afloat with not hitting the spikes and all this stuff. So there's a lot of things in the beginning of the game. There's a lot of things going on in this game. There's shooting, there's power-ups, there's bombs, there's stomping, and then they got to stay up here. So it's just a lot for the player to take in. So, you know, and then easy mode, obviously, you can see how these enemies are just dying really fast. I kind of make everything a pushover, and I spawn a lot of life health power-ups and stuff. So, you know, we'll need art for this, these new spikes, or aka springs, but that'll be at a later date. I wanted to mainly go over the icons for finishing the levels. So you see, when I finish this, it is level 1's already on red because I beat it in hardcore. But if I had beat it on easy mode, it would be like the normal. It would be green, and then you know, the normal mode is like a blue, and then the hardcore is like a red. I mean, you can do it however you see fit. And I was thinking, like I was saying before, those little faces, like the humanoid's face. First, he starts out on easy mode as like, you know, just like really like a smiling, a little humanoid, and then normal, he's like more badass and beefed up version, and then hardcore is like ultimate humanoid. You know, like, you know, war trodden, hardcore humanoid, just to give the player a nice little visual stimulant. And then, you know, like I said, disregard these golden stars. I might end up using this same sprite, or I might do another one. It's going to be shrunken down and put into the top right corner, so it won't block the artwork of the button. This is just a placeholder right now. So, you know, completionists will be going for in this game all their hardcore completion badges, and then their flawless stars, which is gained by flawlessing a level, not getting hit during a level. So yeah, man, I wanted to kind of go over with that. So I mean, we'll need 30 different sprites for the level buttons, and they'll need a blacked out animation, an activated animation, which is like or an unlocked animation, which is essentially the number, or in case of our bonus levels, the correctly colored star. Then they'll also need 3 more animations on top of that. They'll need the easy unlock, the normal unlock, and the hardcore unlock. Now, we'll only need easy, normal, and hard unlocks. We'll only need to do those once, because I can use those little faces. Like the hardcore unlock for level 1 will be the exact same icon as the hardcore unlock for level 30. So I mean, essentially, you don't have to do, like, you know, a whole like easy, normal, and hard for levels 1 through 30. You just need to do easy, normal, and hard, and then I'll use them for every single button. So picture like someone who's a completionist, you know, when they're done in this scene, every single one of these will have the hardcore humanoid unlock badge on the level icon, and then they'll have the gold star in the upper right hand corner, and that should give the players a lot of content. I mean, because these, as you saw in that video, you know, the bonus levels are quite difficult. So this game is really shaping up, and everything is starting to come together here. So once we get the level icons done, then I'll give you the exact sizes of these buttons here where my mouse is. These are the upgrade buttons, and then we'll do some nice icons with them. And then after that, we'll go on to this big button here, which is basically the perk/game options icon. Then after that, all of these are basically going to be little badges that'll have little pictures of all the perks on them. And, you know, these will essentially just look like little power-up icons, you know, that'll kind of... And then after that, we'll go into here, and then we'll do the sound and control buttons, and then we're going to be, like, really close to getting this one all kind of wrapped up. All right, man, let me know what you think. Later.